Hey everyone, I hope you had a great day. Today we are looking at some new malicious compliance stories. I hope you enjoy them. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button, it really helps. And now let's start with the first story, shall we? The first story is called I Will Stay in the Back Then. I worked at a place that sold home automation and electronics before Alexa and Google Home were the easiest ways to do things. We had lost our guy who generally packed up the orders and kept the inventory tidy. Due to things I did wrong that nobody thought to tell me about, I was politely demoted from front office and sales to the now vacant role. In order to explain this to me, my manager went on vacation, let the CEO's daughter, the COO, come to town to cover for him and left her to explain it to me. Her method was by bringing in a new guy and telling me to go in the back and handle the order packing. No conversation, explanation of what I had done wrong or anything. Just suddenly there's a new dude and I am to pack orders. The phone rang and I answered it, as I had for 18 months. Nope, go back to packing orders. The customer came in who I knew their order. Nope, get back to packing orders. So that's what I did. When the phone rang, I ignored it. When people came in, I ignored them. A delivery came? Well, it wasn't part of packing orders. Time to sweep up the warehouse? Sorry, packing orders. They wanted to go to lunch and have me watch the door? Sorry, I'm packing orders, but I will happily lock the front door. This lasted a few hours before she decided to get demeaning, explain my job was packing orders and only allowed to do other things at her discretion. I asked politely if I could tell her to screw off. When she didn't respond right away, I did and walked right out the door. The next story is called Why Don't You Speak the Native Language? My friend, who is Vietnamese, gets told, speak English, you are in America, all the time. It got quite annoying for him, so he eventually decided to do something about it. He looked up the Native American tribe, whose tribe was originally on the land where he lives. He went to the tribe's cultural center. He told the elderly grandma working there that he was tired of being told to speak English in America. He asked her to teach him how to say white person, outsider, non-native in the language, as well as some other curse words and whatnot. Apparently, this made that Native American granny's week. She went all out and really taught him quite a lot. And ever since, anytime someone tells him to speak English in America, he says, well, why don't you speak the Native American tribe's language? We are in Native American tribes' lands. You, Native American word for white person. The shocked faces he gets in response never gets old. They completely freeze up for a few seconds before responding in entertaining ways, such as gasping for air or pointing their finger angrily. Or they just turn and walk away. Eventually, the word spread among my group of friends. Quite a few of them, who as immigrants or even just people who speak a second language, occasionally also get told this. So they are always chomping at the bit to get the chance to use this response. Every time someone from them finally does, they immediately announce it to everyone they know, and it really never gets old. The third story is called The Whole Bottle. This story happened around 8 years ago. I was 18 and working in a bar in the town centre somewhere in the UK. We were based between two of the grimmiest pubs and the clubs in there. So we got a lot of dodgy, rude and drunk patrons on a regular occurrence. One night at around 12 AM, this group of guys comes in, wearing suits. I can immediately tell that they are pretty drunk and obnoxious. They come to the bar with around 20 to 30 people waiting ahead of them. They start loudly asking for service, even though there are people patiently waiting in front of them. Me and my team just roll our eyes and get back to serving people. I get around to serving them and they all shout, finally! Such a bad service, what took you so long? I just ignored that comment and asked what they wanted. They then started talking amongst themselves, like they didn't have enough time to work this out while waiting. The ringleader proclaimed that they are going big tonight, so they wanted a bottle of Grey Goose vodka. I said, I can only give you a maximum of a double in any one drink. If you want to make it stronger, go for it. He ignores most of what I said and just says, didn't you hear me? 1 bottle of Grey Goose. For context, we are not allowed to sell whole bottles of spirits under any circumstances. I call the manager up in the back and explain the situation. He says exactly what I've already told the customer. So we agreed that if I explained it one more time about how I had to give them the drink and he just said one bottle again, I would do it. What the guy didn't realize is that I have to put the whole bottle through as doubles. This means about $8.50 per double without any mixers. So this bottle ended up costing him £170 before any mixers, when it's only 35 in the local supermarket. He throws his hands up in the air, saying I have ripped him off and he's not going to pay that. Why didn't I say anything sooner? I said that I did, and he just fobs me off and goes to walk out. Little does he know, I have already asked the bouncers to keep him in the building till he's paid up. His mates laugh at him as he goes white as a sheet, realizing that he just spent a lot of money. His friends give him a little bit of money to help pay up. And he has to spend the night sulking with his overpriced bottle of vodka. The next story is called My Boss Told Me Not to Do Them. I used to work in a car factory as a process engineer. I basically was in charge of an entire production line of a specific part of the body. This went from designing the layout, over setting up machinery, to writing down the specific instruction for each post. A fun job with lots of things to do. But like every big company, each department was in a constant fight against another. Production against engineering, health and safety against production, maintenance against everybody. You know. Anyhow, as I said, I had to prepare instructions for each post. A detailed document with a precise task of each worker was thoroughly described to guarantee a standard process. This was not fun to do, and we usually ignored it since we wouldn't use it. The workers that belonged to the production department would. I was completing the standard process documents for my line, since that was an important document for production. But my boss told me not to waste my time on that, since there were more pressing issues. Sure thing, boss. What we didn't know was that my boss would be transferred to production a couple of months later. He basically became my internal client. Of course he asked where the production standards were, since he needed them now that he was in charge of production in my line. I told him, my boss told me not to do them. He looked puzzled, but I need them. I know, but my boss specifically told me not to do them. He had a blank face. Dude, you told me not to do them. Okay, please just get them done. We need them. The last story is called Prove It. I worked for this torturous company that was killing me slowly, sort of like a Venus flytrap, but worse. The company gave out demerit points for rules that were broken. For instance, if you forgot to put a cover on your coffee mug, you got 2 demerit points. If you forgot your gate card, 1 demerit. If you exceeded 5, you had to attend an hour-long video explaining the company's demerit system while sitting next to an idiot from Human Resources. Demerits were erased every year on your hiring date, giving you back your squeaky clean slate. No doubt these rules were originally intended for the penal system. Let's say you were getting 6 months of weekly allergy shots. You would be required to bring in individual doctor's notes, 1 per visit. I made the horrific mistake of thinking my doc could write 1 note stating that I would be receiving 6 months of treatment, weekly. I got 3 demerits for breaking the doctor's note rule. Newt was a dumb old thing who was reluctantly placed in HR as a last resort. Newt collected medical notes and kept track of demerits, earning him the name Demerit Dong. He had it out for me ever since I came up with this nickname. He hated me for dodging demerits and pushing the envelope as far up his crack as possible. The only thing that pleased Dong more than demerits was his office plant collection. He would tell you everything about his beloved juniper bonsai as he cuddled with a pot of brown-eyed Susans. One Monday, I handed him my doctor's note. He accepted the note and went back to massaging his spider plant. The very next week, he notifies me that I have 3 demerits. I storm into his office. He was tending his mini cactus trio. I wave a copy of my note. The jerk opens the rulebook and points to a line stating that an individual note must be presented for each medical visit. He finally got me, and that was the end of that. Or was it? He asked me what I was allergic to. He chuckles, gets up, and starts touching his phone. I knew very well that he reads every note in my file. For this very reason, I always insert a strange medical condition or affliction on every single note. It was just a little tidbit of satisfaction against him. Pica was my latest affliction. Pica is an abnormal desire to eat substances such as dirt, shark or ash that are not normally eaten. After a few months with nothing special happening, I got a promotion. However, due to the lack of office space during renovations, I get to share a temporary space with him and all his plant children for the next 9 cozy months. No options, no other place to move to, and I was ready. His day would start by finding strategically placed spoons in the dirt of random plants. And I would greet him with things like, "I have a great recipe for that juniper bonsai." Or, "Is that air plant salt-free?" I'm watching my intake. Some days I would ask him these questions through a dirt-stained upper lip. Although it was easy, I got him to admit that he could have cleared my demerits by resubmitting my paperwork back to human resources. But he chose not to do so. Instead, he told me to go prove it. Sounds easy enough. I simply explained to the head of HR that Newt was a great office mate, but I had allergies and a special condition aggravated by any plant that required dirt. All my medical notes were on file to prove it. Due to the fact that all of HR hated him too, it took all of 5 minutes. In the end, he had to take all his plant babies home until after the move, that turned out to be over a year. He put up a weak fight, accused me of being a plant molester, but I just told him to go prove it. Thanks for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Let me know what you think about the stories in the comment section below. Have a great day. Bye bye.